What's up everyone, it's Gannon and Buhr here with Foundation Disc Golf, and today I'm going to be showing you guys what's in my bag. Starting off with putting putters, I put with the 350G PA3. These have the super clean Kevin Jones stamp on them. Shout out to Kevin. These are sick, super stiff, it's the most current run. Definitely go check them out, they're really tacky. Have a nice beat on them, I love them, hot or cold, they're money either way. Next up is my throwing putters. Starting off with most overstable, I have my Proto Pa2. You guys have probably seen me throw this a lot. This is a max weight Pa2. This is really overstable. It's my overstable throwing putter. It's not too overstable though. I can throw it out flat and it'll kind of tilt left and kind of push left. It's not gonna dump. So that's what I like about it a lot. Next up is the Duraflex P Model US. This is from our Ace line, and this has flown the exact same since I got it 7 months ago. This plastic is really grippy, really durable. I love this plastic. I'll definitely go check one out. To be honest, they're not understable at all. They are straight to overstable out of the box, and it's like a happy accident. I love them. Everyone loves them. Definitely go check them out. Next is the 300 PA3. I use this for all my sidearm touch putter shots, or if I need a disc that on like an island hole or something where I need it to hit and stick. Or any just dead straight shot, this is what I use this for. Next up is my first run PA4, probably my most used disc in the video. You can see a hyzer flips to flat, turns right, and kind of glides right. It doesn't ever get the right side tilted down. It just glides and pushes straight. Really money. I use it for sidearm approaches too, and I feel really comfortable with that disc, and it's flown the exact same for almost a year and a half now, so really consistent. Definitely go check out the PA4. Next up is my 300S PA4. This thing is warped really bad, as you can see. This is super unstable, and as you can see in the video, it just hyzer flips and turns right the entire way. It's so unstable. It's super useful. I don't use it a ton, but when I do, I'm grateful that I have it. Next up is the 450A2. This thing is stupid overstable, which I love about it. You can throw it on a chop sidearm angle and have it come out every time. I threw this a ton at Waco. You'll see that in coverage, or any more events in the future, you'll definitely see this thing. This is so overstable, so predictable, so consistent, and everything about it. So definitely go check out the A2. Next up is my mid-ranges. I got 4 of them in my bag. I feel super confident with my mid-range game right now, so I don't really need more than 4. Here is my Proto M2. This is 177 and it's really overstable. I can throw it out flat and it's gonna push straight while going left, and it has a decent fade at the end. And then here's another Proto M2, but this one has a silver stamp. Silver stamps are known to be slightly more straighter out of the box. And this thing, what I love about it is it doesn't go right at all. It'll never hyzer flip on me. It only goes dead straight and barely fades at the end. So it's super predictable in any wind, and I love it. Next up is the 400G M4. This thing is, you've definitely seen Kevin and Kale throw this disc, this exact run. It almost has a pop top dome to it. I can throw it on that much hyzer and it'll pop up to flat and then kind of glide right the entire way. Kind of like the PA4. In the video we had a tailwind, so it kind of faded out, but it's money. And here we have another 400G M4, and this thing is pretty dang flippy. It's great in the woods, use it a ton at Waco again. Hyzer flip, turn, and hold the whole way. Next up is the Fairway Drivers. I got 6 of them in my bag right now. First is a 500 FX2. Shout out to Luke Humphrey's, got that pretty sweet stamp on it. This thing is really overstable. It's a slot we were missing from Prodigy. This 500 plastic is super grippy, really tacky, great feeling. These are really overstable. I can throw it out flat, or I like to flex these a lot and have them come back, kind of like the Nico line, I guess. Super overstable, really useful. Next up is the Proto F2. This is really straight, but just like the M2, doesn't turn right and doesn't have much fade, so really good for tunnel shots. So next up is another 400 F2. This is just a bar stamp, an older run. This one is a little more understable. I can throw on a hyzer and it'll flip up to flat, get a little right turn, but always come back. I like it for if I need a shot to just go dead straight through the woods the entire way. I'll throw this, it's really predictable. Next up is the 400 F3. This is a really milky run. It's not very transparent, as you can see. Paul Ulibarri's old signature disc. Super understable, but really controllable. Hyzer flip, to flat and hold right the entire flight, and it never likes to come back hard, but it'll hold right the whole way, and it's really good in the woods for that. Next up is the 400 GF7. This is kind of just a utility disc like that PA4. It's so understable, there's almost no use for it. I don't throw rollers right now, but it's something I'm working on. I've been liking this for rollers because it always finishes right and it's really consistent. This is just super flippy. Any amount of highs it'll flip up to flat and kind of glide right. Next up is the 750H1. This thing is super beefy, just like the A2. It's pretty much the A2's big brother. Chop angle, have it come back on a sidearm. Super consistent. Threw this a ton at Waco. Any headwind, this thing does not turn and it will go left. Next up are my distance drivers. So my most used discs in my bag. We got a 166 400 SD1. This thing is unreal how overstable it is. I could never ever flip this thing. I definitely threw it a ton at all my tournaments I've played so far, and I'll continue to throw it, and it's been so durable, so consistent ever since I got it about a year ago. It's just going left no matter what, and if I need a disc to go about 50 feet further, or if I have a tailwind, I'll throw this instead of my Bowling Green D3, which I'll get to later, which is my most overstable driver. They fly about the same actually, but this one just goes so much further because it's lightweight and it's super consistent. Next up is my 400 GD1. This thing is also really overstable, but about this run of D1, they go dead straight, just like the M2, though it doesn't flip over and doesn't have much fade. Really consistent, really controllable in any woods type situation. Next up is my two 400 GD2s. These are both slight dome bombers. These are both old runs that will have a nice hyzer flip to them. The orange likes to hold the entire way, and sometimes I can get the gray to hyzer flip and come out at the end. The gray, I think right now, is my furthest flying disc. That's going to be really consistent. Next up is the 750 GD2. This thing is pretty dang understable. I can throw it on a lot of highs and it'll flip up to flat and turn right the entire way. Good pop top dome on this thing, so it holds angles really well. Yeah, my most unstable distance driver. It's still controllable and just goes a mile. Here's the Bowling Green D3. The story behind this is they don't fly like D3s. They came out with the parting line with the profile really high, and these are extremely overstable discs. I know that me, Matt Oram, Cam Colglazier, Kevin Jones, Austin Hannum, Thomas Gilbert, we all kind of started throwing them pretty recently, and I know we've all been loving them. They're extremely consistent, really overstable, really great in wind, hold in wind. I think better than D1s, that's why I don't throw my D1s for windy conditions usually. But this was money at Waco. And here is probably my favorite driver, probably my most used driver because it's extremely controllable. It is a 400 GD3. This is very similar to the Bowling Green D3, and if any of you guys happen to have one of these, please let me know. I'm looking for these Will Schustrick old run D3s. They came out slightly domey, a little flat actually, and it's really overstable. If I throw it on a slight hyzer really hard, it'll flip up to flat, maybe get right, but it's always coming back left hard at the end, and that's just this run of D3. Most D3s don't have a big fade, but this one does. And if I need anything that needs to stay in the middle of the fairway, I'll be throwing this because I know where it's going every single time. One more thing I have is the Bushnell Rangefinder. Huge shout out to Bushnell. These things are extremely accurate. They help so much. As you can see by a lot of these top pros that have started to use rangefinders, they get you birdies. And then my bag is the Prodigy Bp1, very sturdy, very durable, and hasn't failed me yet. So thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more videos from me on the Foundation channel. Thank you guys for all your amazing support, and I'm looking forward to continuing my season, and I'll be at a lot more big events. Thank you guys for watching, and see you later.